Number 13. So guys, we're still going over single digit numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're still going over them slowly, but I thought, it's good to start jumping into these common misinterpreted numbers and what their significance is. And 13 is one such number because 13 is a very misunderstood number. Okay, 13 is associated with death. 13 is in fact even considered to be unlucky in many cultures. There's even a phobia associated with it, triskaidekaphobia. Okay, fear of the number 13. And what's the reality? The reality is that 13, yes, is a number which is highly transformational in nature. It is a number that, if I were to simplify it for you, this is the number of Rahu. More than number 4, 13 is the number of Rahu. Why is that? And in fact, I would even say that 13 is a number that you can associate it with Ardra Nakshatra. Why is that? See, 13 is made up of two energies, 1 and 3. 1 is the energy of the sun, 3 is the energy of Jupiter. So it's a lot of expansion. At its core, this number contains two vibrations which are highly sattvic, highly expansive, highly confident. It's a lot about knowledge, learning, shining. But then you bring them together and you have 1 plus 3 equal to 4, which is the energy of Rahu. Okay, so 13 is a number, and I have seen it often in my sessions with a lot of my clients, that if you are born on the 13th, okay, like if your date of birth is the 13th, or 13 is very important from the perspective of, let's say, the house number or the jersey number that you go by, or even, let's say, the locker number. Somehow, if 13 is stuck with you, it's an important part of your life. Let's say house number 13, right? Then one thing definitely that you will see is going to happen quite often in your life are cycles of death and rebirth. Or it's not necessarily a bad thing, in the same way that I talked about it in the video that I made on southwest facing houses in the Vastu series that I'm doing. And if you haven't checked that out, you can go and check that out. It's not necessarily a bad thing, because reinventing yourself is what makes you successful. Reinventing yourself is actually what makes you unconventionally successful quite often. Because when you get into the habit of reinventing yourself, when you get into the habit of creating something out of nothing each time, pulling miracles out of thin air, pulling innovation out of thin air, right? You will quite often defy the social norms of society. You will quite often venture into the unknown, and in fact venture into taboo breaking avenues or areas. 13 is one such number. 13 is a number which is overwhelmingly about pursuing your higher truth. Why? Because at the base of it you have 1 and 3, the highly sattvic energies of Jupiter and Sun. So pursuing your higher truth, but this higher truth will invariably lead you into some kind of a collision course or dissatisfaction with respect to authority. This could be your father, this could be your bosses. Often you will see, if you have number 13 prominent, maybe your relationship with the father was great, but your father was not present. He could have been in the army, he could have had a traveling job, or maybe you chose to do something in life which your father did not approve of, and so he could not offer you much guidance. So 13 is a number which I would say, and in fact, by the way, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I love number 13. 13 I have seen come up in my life at some of the most transformational points of time. Okay, I think it's a powerful number. One of my favorite footballers of all time, Michael Ballack. I don't know if anybody here is a soccer, is a Bundesliga fan. Michael Ballack, he used to play for, I think, Bayern Munich, and he was a very unconventional player as well. Normally, you have the inward curling kick, in soccer, right? He had a crazy outward curling kick, right? And so he was able to kick the ball in the way that it would curl outwards from his foot, and that's a very difficult shot to make, because you have to use the outside, this side of your foot. You use the inside of your foot You can bend the ball inwards. You can bend it in many different ways. But to actually bend it in the reverse way takes a lot of work, a lot of doing. And you will notice that number 13 individuals quite often underperform in life because they've gone through so much chaos, and what they try to do is quite often very different from what others are after. And so they are happy enough just staying content with living a peaceful life. Like, just leave me alone to do what I want to do. That's all I'm asking. I don't want fame. I don't want all of those things. Let me be. Okay? And so, guys, if you've been seeing a lot of 13s, or if you are a number 13, I want to say that there is change afoot. And this is a different kind of change. You know, the change that comes with 7 is a paradigm 180-degree shift. It's like addressing your shadow, right? The change that comes with seeing a bunch of ones, 1, 1, 1, 1, is a change that is associated with, you know, bringing you into alignment with your higher purpose, right? In the same way, a change that is brought about by seeing a lot of number 3s is a change that is associated with, you know, taking action. When you see a lot of 13s, like 1313, or you know, you're seeing a bunch of numbers such like 0103, okay, or you know, you're seeing 1003, or you're just seeing numbers all around where, you know, it's unmistakable that it is 13. The universe may be pointing to you that it is time to reinvent yourself. 13 is actually associated in tarot with the death card. And the death card actually is a great card. There's nothing wrong with the death card. It just indicates that there is an ending, and through that ending, there is going to be a transformation. So if you're seeing a lot of 13s, prepare for transformation. You will not be able to escape this transformation. You will not be able to escape this ending, whatever it is. But this ending, this transformation, will be in your highest interest. This can also mean if there's a relationship, or there's a toxic job, or a toxic situationship, or a toxic friendship, or even a toxic subscription. You know, sometimes, you know, we take subscriptions to places and then we just don't show up. We don't show up, and we keep promising ourselves that we're going to show up, and that you know, just that subscription keeps draining our accounts. Whatever that toxic contract is in your life, you're seeing a bunch of 13s again and again. It's time to end those contracts. And if you don't know what they are, then just keep your eyes open and do not resist whatever endings coming up ahead. Once that happens, however, it is going to change you in an irreversible manner. It is going to change your mindset. It is going to change your outlook to life. It is going to change your perspective to life in a way that will transform the very way that you look at yourself, that people look at you. Okay? So if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel so that you can see the rest of all the wonderful content that I post here. Push the bell icon so that you can be notified every single time I post. If you want a personal session with me, you can do so by checking out the link given here in the description box. It's going to take you to my website booking page. You just have to fill up a form. Once I get that form, we initiate the process. We'll, you know, move things forward. There are limited slots each month, but we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you so much.